Hey guys, just going to do a quick trade recap over the pound yen trade I took today. Sorry if my voice is raspy and you hear me like hacking up stuff. I'm not sick. I'm helping my body fight off some kind of infectious bug that is taking over my life and my body right now. Um, so just that. Let's get into it. Here's my here's this trade here for the pound yen. Entered short this morning at 152.61. Currently up about 132 pips, 133, somewhere around there. Market's closed, so the spreads are a little wonky on Oanda. That's the one thing I don't like about Oanda is the spreads can get a little thick sometimes during low volatility. Um, Anyways, or after market hours. Let me flip over here to, where am I at? Let me find my chart for GJ. Okay, here we go. So, let me look here. High to low, we got a 78.6 fib. So I had a limit order at 154 since last week. Had about a initially like a 50 pip stop or something on that with that limit order, but I never got filled. It just kind of ranged here. We created this little range off the highs there and just kind of ricocheted back and forth. Each time making a little bit lower highs, but I didn't short, in all this mess just because I wanted to short at 154, and the reason being was we had let me zoom out here to the 4-hour chart. We kind of got this shelf, a roof of support here, or sorry, resistance. That was kind of support in and around here. It's kind of ugly up in here, but um, you know, that was kind of the area that I wanted to short. We had that 78.6. We had this channel topper here, depending on how you draw that. That was kind of intersecting right up around there. And we had some extensions, profit target extensions. This pop off the lows had a nice 50% retracement. The first profit target was hit pretty nice, and then the second one was hit nice as well. But I was looking for a little bit bigger pop or higher pop off of, up to that 154 level, and we just front ran it by about 15 pips. So that's kind of what happens sometimes. So we were so close to my levels that I wanted to short at. I wasn't just going to short down here, 50, 60 pips away, just because I'm not gonna chase a trade just for fear of missing out. That's how you get eat up and chewed up. The market will do you dirty and just spit you out. But anyways, so once we broke down, you can see this kind of most recent little trend line here. Once we broke that, which coincided with the break of this range low, we came right back up to it and retested it, and that's essentially where I shorted. I actually had another limit order. I took the impulse candle move that broke out of that, and right up around this 61.8. Let me drop down to the 1-hour chart. Was that 153 even handle. There was a nice little kind of little roll, what I like to call a little roll reversal level up in there. You can see where the market used it as both support and resistance a number of times, just back and forth. So I like to look for those little levels there around some confluence. And right around there was, I was hoping it would, pop up right around here, was that broken trend line. So that was where I had my limit order, was right up around 153, and we didn't quite make that before the bears kind of started stepping in. So just reading this price action, the context of this price action, I felt like we were kind of front running that little area again. Because we had this range here, we popped down, made a low, high, kind of trickled in here, 2 taps on top, 2 taps on bottom, so that is kind of defined as a range for me. Then we broke out to the top, reached for those levels, but didn't quite make it. Probably triggered people long out of this box range. But they got skunked. And then once we closed back down into this range, I just went ahead and shorted at market because I felt like my trade idea was playing out. I don't consider this like chasing a trade. This was essentially just waiting for confirmation. You know how most retail traders wait for some type of confirmation. This was kind of just like a confirmation trade. I had my general area where I was interested in waiting or entering the market. But essentially all this did was just give me a better risk to reward, right? So I was targeting this 150, what is this here, 151.20 level, which we smacked and stopped. So that was my first take profit, which was kind of the last area where that last impulsive move started. So that was where I was targeting, excuse me. And so we hit that perfectly, but yeah, so essentially my trade was look like this. Let me delete this box. This was essentially my trade. I had I'll do light colors. I don't even know what this is going to be here. This was kind of my trade. Nice risk to reward. I guess that is one of the benefits of having a waiting for confirmation. I don't wait for confirmation because you kind of get a worse entry, and you typically if you don't really understand the context of the like the market structure or like what's going on in the market, the price action, you can increase your risks also. So most people who probably shorted this, if they shorted right around where I did, probably had their stop above the highs there, and we're just shooting for like a 1-to-1, right? But that's a ridiculous stop loss right there of like 120 some pips. Yeah, it's 1-to-1, but I don't know. It's all relative. I had my stop loss just right above where I wanted to enter. I felt like, if the market, was gonna get up there, we may push up a little bit higher, and then, maybe even head up to 154. Maybe this was a fake out, double bottom, break of structure. Right here, and then push on up to that 154 or even higher. So I wanted to get in and out of the market, or I wanted to get out of the market, pretty quickly if this wasn't going to hold. Because, the whole reason why I was getting into this trade was I was anticipating, this range structure to hold true again. And this was just simply a fake out to trigger people long who trade or breakout traders or whatever. Well, I don't know. I don't trade breakouts or anything. But I'm guessing, yeah. So this, that was my trade. I took profit, not quite at 120, that 120 or that 150 120 level. I took it a little bit, you know, probably as price was kind of spiking down here. I think it was 151.30 something. So I want to say somewhere right around 130 pips is what I got, which was a nice trade. It took literally, as soon as I entered, you know, I'll show you on the lower time frame. I just entered at market, you know, because like I said, this box was, you know, kind of my reason for entering. Let me delete this stuff here. Sorry. Boom, boom. You know, once we close back in this this range and kind of, you know, this is a 15-minute chart. I was on my phone at the time and I was looking at sorry. I'm getting all kinds of mixed up here. Once we you know, broke out, we consolidated, broke back down in the box, and broke these little structure levels. This is a 15-minute chart. I never look at the 15-minute chart, but I was on my phone and I was looking at the 15-minute chart because I was like, yeah, is it gonna front run me or what? Once we broke down back below that, I shorted at market 152.61, and my stop was just, like I said, right essentially where I wanted to get in the market at that time. I didn't want to get, you know, skunked with all kinds of whiplash and stuff. I felt like the market was getting ready to move based off my original trade idea, which was front ran, and then, you know, once we started breaking lower, you know, I felt like this was just kind of a corrective structure, and the market was going to get ready to pop again, which it did. So that was nice. Depending on how you draw this channel bottom here, you know, there still may be some time to, you know, some movement down. Like I said, I'm already out of half my position. It would be nice to see this break lower and move, kind of head back down to some lower structures. I'm going to swing this if I can, but yeah, that's the trade idea. That's kind of the thought process that I was going through. Like I said, I've been looking to short this for, you know, the past week and a half. You know, when price was, what day is this? The 13th. You know, it's, you know, that's once price was kind of popping up here around 154 on the 13th. You know, I was starting to look to short because I knew it was coming into, you know, at least based off the way I trade, shorting territory for me. So that's the trade idea. That's the idea behind it. If you want to chat about it more, send me a message or comment on this video, and you know, like, subscribe, share it, do whatever. Yeah. Let me know if I can help you in any other way. Take care.